A lot of people were inspired by the feedback we shared on the last episode, and today we'll be taking some more. A warm welcome to the program. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Plus, 2 solo exhibitions, one celebrates culture, while the other artist had to push herself out of her comfort zone. We have that and more in a moment, but let's see the wordsmith for this week and we'll be right back.
Our wordsmith is John King Ayanfe. The title of his poem is This Page. Life is a mysterious book. We read but never fathom its content. Each page feeds with angst. The angular face of life is a watery deceit. Every page we open, enigmatically sprouts a new sun in our lives. This sun sears the body, spirit, and dreams, tearing apart the whole of our existence. We find our lot in deferred circumstances, obscuring the rhythm of our comfort. We fight not to deviate from our purpose, more worries begotten, more battles raised. I walked to the end of my life. I only returned by grace, deep thoughts. This page will surely be opened for another page with words as elixir. Life is a mysterious book. No one knows what the next page hosts. Hope and faith in God fertilizes the mind. Life is tragic. Make comedy of it. Worry not your heart with worries. Oh, the unopened pages will comfort you, beloved.
Indeed, life's like a book, and every day we get another opportunity to write a new page. So let's make it a bestseller. Thanks for that wake-up call, John. Who are you? That's what contemporary artist Nathan is asking his audience in his local language as he uses the found objects in his community as part of the materials for creating his works of art.
Menuwe, translated in English as Who Are You, is Nathaniel Hodonu's third solo exhibition. Call it his way of announcing himself to the people, especially those who are unfamiliar with his works and culture.
What I am trying to do is just to promote my own culture, my people as well. Not limiting it to Badagry alone, but the entire Nigeria. That is, what can you do to tell the world your identity? Somebody's coming to your house for the first time, knocking at your door. You ask, who is there or who are you? So that is the meaning of Menuwe. So I am coming to the art scene now, telling people who I am, but not using the conventional things, the conventional materials we use. But instead now, I am using what is made in the country, one of the natural resources that we have in the country, coconut shells.
In this show, which features over 50 works of art, paintings and installations, there's something which makes him stand out. He uses found objects, specifically coconut shells, plastic bottle caps and wood. But working with coconut is a concept he has been on for about 11 years now, and they are not in short supply in the Badagry area of Lagos.
Coconut shell is abundant in Badagry, and what they do with coconut shell is when you eat the coconut, the rest is story. You make fire out of it, but I don't want to continue doing that. Instead, I want to be making creative things out of it, using what we have in Badagry to get what we want. That is, using coconut shells to get things I want around me. Instead of going on and on with all canvas or using conventional things, I want to use something different.
Hodonu Nathaniel Wesu, a practicing artist. From what I have seen, is a local person that has brought the local materials to light. You can see from west to west. Coconut is prevalent in Badagry, and it has been there for long. But what he has brought up now, we can see that this one will go to places. It has exposed it to the whole world.
His sculpture has provided him with the tools and inspiration for some of his pieces, like this one called Minue, captures the beauty that abounds in this coastal town.
The images here represent figures, and the business we do in Badagry as part of our trade is fishing. So at the center you see fishing there, a fishing boat. Then those round ones that is embellished with designs represent money.
And since it shares a border with the Republic of Benin, his neighbors have been an influence as well.
The series there is Orida Nisi. It has nothing to do with Third Mainland Bridge. That is images I got from Benin Republic. Okay, so as an Eguman, you have to talk about Benin because that is the origin. And when I visited that place, that was when I saw the houses. In fact, that place, you have schools on water, you have markets on water, you have place of abode on water. Everything they do are basically on water, no land at all. So it's an interesting thing for me. So I took shots of them and painted them.
Then some works of art talk about the school of life.
I have his pains are gain. That is, if you want to go biblical, Jesus died on the cross for us through serious pains, but to the glory of God, we are enjoying the pains he had gone through. Then I also have another one, Akbero. That is a kind of national assembly where people gather together to decide on what to do and how to do it. Then I also have another one again, Dance of Freedom. That has to do with relating that to the Badagry setting, whereby, those days where we still have slave trade, but now it has been abolished, and the next is for us to rejoice. So there I have images celebrating Dance of Freedom. From your home, your mother will be the first person who will teach you the honors in life. That is, things you do and things you should know how to do. Before you go to the formal place of learning, the training starts from home. And when in school too, if you are growing, if you have assignment to do, it is the mother who will sit by you to tell you, okay, do it this way, this is how to go about it. The father must have gone out in search of money to cater for the family.
Some of the art patrons here applaud his idea of turning waste to wealth using the simple things around him.
When you see the way he has repurposed the materials, we call it mixed media and turning waste to wealth. So that is what we call repurposing of materials. So, and he has used it in such a way that is so fascinating and so thoughtful and purposefully. So when you look at the theme of the work, Menue, you understand, it's like the artist is trying to tell us who he is. You understand? Who am I? What am I? What am I here for? And from all that you have seen so far, from its repurposed materials to its found object to the mixed media and the combination of materials, you will see that the artist is trying to tell us that I am here. I am a force to be reckoned with.
Although cracking up coconuts and turning them to art is a hit with the audience, it's not a piece of cake, unlike paintings, which are less demanding.
Before you cut the coconut, remove the debris, clean it up, sandpaper both in and out, cut them to the desired size. It takes longer time, probably 2 weeks, depending on the size.
Showing off his tribe through captivating mixed media works is how Hudunu has chosen to tell the story of his people.
We have seen artists using paper, newsprint, as a medium of expression. We've seen artists using waste tires, you understand, to express themselves. This is another tendency. Though people have been using coconut as a craft, but when you look at the art form of Nathaniel, his craft is gradually moving from the level of craft to art itself. Because if you say craft, you are more or less trying to reduce it to a particular extreme. But when you look at his works, you realize that he is now using his craft, you understand, as a medium of expression to make statements.
This contemporary artist is encouraging everyone to take pride in their culture and tell it any way they know how, without waiting for a stranger to do the honors.
It's good to celebrate the beauty of culture. Artists try to do that while talking about the need for everyone to stay safe. And these are the works of art that made the cut for this week. We start off with this acrylic on canvas work called Hope. It's done by Toby Ojedokun. Then while we hope, Innocent is asking goodness and mercy to continue to follow everyone with this acrylic on canvas work. And talking about a lantern lighting the path, that's what Oyesam Art is looking at with World Illumination, a biro work. Then Liam Jr. believes that this time could make some people desperate, but we should all calm down with his pencil and charcoal drawing. According to Justin, we are beautiful, so we should take life easy. He's done it with this work of art called I Am Beautiful. And while we bask in beauty, we should treasure the moment. That's what Ose Ogbede is saying with this work, which is the second in the series, done with soft pastel on card, called Treasured 2. Then this acrylic on canvas work done by Hakeem is called Carry Along. To this other acrylic on canvas work titled We Have Come Home. Then we wrap up with this colored ballpoint pen and newspaper work done by Benedict Kakulu. It's his first post on our Facebook page. And those are the works of art you sent in this week. We appreciate you for sending them in, and we encourage you to keep them coming. Let's take a moment now. When Art House returns, another artist had to think outside the box before embarking on her solo exhibition. Details when we return. Do stay with us.
Follow your passion, stay focused, work hard, work smart, and be determined to achieve your set goals. don't remember being a keen reader, but apparently I was.
You haven't seen it all until you check out the works done by this female contemporary artist.
This is a solo exhibition of contemporary artist Taye Erewele, who challenged herself to put this show together as she ditched norms and practices to paint from her heart, letting her emotions inspire her to find expression that will best capture the essence of putting this show together.
I titled my exhibition, You Haven't Seen It All, because it actually happens to be my very first solo. In the past, I have had struggles with myself. I've been very used to working in a monotonous style against my wish, because I was too glued to the academic kind of art where you're looking for representational art, you're looking for resemblance and all of that. And so I had, an urge to break away, to, release myself, my true genius, and express myself as the painter I truly am. And so I came about, this collection of works that were born from within. They're actually works that were ignited by a creative spark. And so I decided to work according to how my heart led me, instead of what people would think. And so I took the chance to say, okay, here I am. You haven't seen it all. Come look at the stuff I do now.
That's the concept behind this exhibition, You Haven't Seen It All, and she explains her motivation.
I think it's colors that make life worth living. For example, if you were living in a room that didn't have any light, you wouldn't appreciate, for example, the color of the fabric you yourself is wearing, or your furniture, or even the television set, because there will be no light to power it. I think life experiences, guided my thoughts when I was producing these colors. The use of color for me is symbolic. From the depth of my heart, I'm led to express myself, even words that I cannot articulate.
For her, painting compares to a childlike adventure, one that she's embarked on, and the ride has been a delight. We see it in pieces such as To Be or Not, I, Twilight, Betrothed, some of these issues that affect her gender.
That piece behind, titled My Fairy Passion, just talks about how passionate my journey has been. I actually have a very interesting story. Before I became an artist, I had meddled into two other courses. At a point in my life, I studied geography and regional planning. At some point again, I studied estate management. But then there was this void in me that I needed to fill, and so, I started on that course of self-discovery. This work just tells you that I'm very passionate about what I do.
The curator, Luciano Uzuegbu, describes how he sees the artist's works, full of depth and color. The subject also shows that she's aware of what's happening in her environment.
The work cuts across realism and, of course, goes into real abstract or avant-garde kind of representation. And it has various colors that the artist has experimented, with. So in the end, she came out with things that even called some experience in her. Like she studied a bit of geographic and urban and regional, study. She undertook that, and then in the end, she came out with works that reflected that aspect of her unconsciously. You know, all these geometric expressions, they all put together represent something in her she didn't know would always seek expression in her art.
This graduate of the Ambrose Ali University in Edo State has held over 15 group exhibitions, and her subjects are usually gender-related.
Getting to the home stretch now, but I won't leave without sharing some of your responses to the poser who inspires you as an artist. After that, I'll let you know what to expect the next time you tune in. We begin with this one by James. He says, "My inspiration comes from my heart because my heart is my art." Tony Black Art says, "I get my inspiration from life, the breeze, everything. I love colors. When I see color, it motivates me." Naomi Takuk says, "I derive my inspiration from God, nature, and in my solitary place." Afoke says, "I started drawing when I was in secondary school since 1994, so I have lived with art and it has become part of me. I loved colors, nature, realism, and illustrations, all thanks to my family who exposed me to these things early. They are my inspiration. They support me till date." Ido Adepoju writes, "My late dad was my motivation. He was also an artist and he reproduced himself in me, but I am inspired to be better than him." Felix Wokolo says, "Life's experience triggers my inspiration. Then I pick a pen and write because life is art." Finally, Prince Benjamin has this one. He says, "My best friend Yusuf inspired me."
Next on Art House. We see the lines and forms of contemporary artist Olushola Obaya in his solo exhibition.
Everything started from lines. When the line is enclosed, it will give you a form. From form, you get what you want.
Then more of your online creations when you tune in next time. Join us again. Your Art House experience doesn't have to end when the show's not on television. Interact with us on any of our social media platforms. See any edition of Art House on Channels TV's YouTube page. Send your works of art to Art House on Channels Television by joining the group on Facebook. We are everywhere.
That's Art House this week. Thank you so much for being a part of it, and I look forward to seeing you next time. But do remember that the conversation continues online on any of our social media platforms. I'm Melinda Akinlami, encouraging you to stay safe and stay creative.